Hello, I'm Tao Kexin. I'm going to talk about Internet micropayments. Inside the introduction part, I will illustrate what is Internet micropayments. By explaining the most promising use case, I am going to expound the current use of Internet micropayments. Then, I will analyze the Internet micropayments is enough mature or not to put into society from various aspects and list the disadvantages. Later, by recommend what can we expect about micropayments, I will talk about the approach tech innovation. Finally, I will list the references. The term micropayment was coined by technology futurist and philosopher Ted Nielsen in the 1960s as a way to pay for individual copyrights on online content. Micropayments are payments of less than $1 that are usually made online. The definition or size of a micropayment differs across payment processors and businesses. Some companies recognize transactions below $1 as micropayments. Others classify micropayments as amounts below $5, below $10, or below $20. Internet micropayments can be used in several use cases, of which some of the most promising: blockchain, gaming, security and fraud detection, and content on the Internet. For blockchain, currently, most blockchains are linked to a cryptocurrency to let users pay for transactions and reward users who validate and verify a blockchain transaction. With micropayments, blockchains could be linked to a standard currency instead of a cryptocurrency. For gaming, this use case is currently the most use case of micropayments. For example, a lot of games allow you to get extra lives, moves, in-game gold or diamonds for a small micropayment. Even though this accounts for hundreds of millions of dollars, the downside is that half of all the money is only coming from 0.19% of the users, showing the small number of users actually wanting to pay for these features. For security and fraud detection, when accessing a website costs a fraction of a eurocent, this would not really burden a real physical user, but for hacking attacks, content scraping and bots, this would give an issue as they make thousands of connections per second, ultimately leading to high bills. Therefore, linking a micropayment to the possibility to access a website would significantly increase security, as those automated attacks would no longer be financially viable. And paying for content on the Internet. For example, pay to read an article, pay by message sent to social media, pay by viewed videos. This could be especially interesting for smaller players, which have difficulties to convince customers to pay a monthly subscription. Although this flexible pricing model sounds very appealing both to the producer and the consumer, a number of restrictions currently burden this way of pricing. There is at the moment no smooth way to execute a payment without passing by a complex and lengthy digital sign-in process. Furthermore, setting up a payment account on a website just to see one article would result in a high bounce rate. Solutions for refunds are required. For example, allow a user to get a refund if he closed the browser window within 15 seconds. This would avoid a user paying for a page on which he clicked by accident. Of course, mechanisms also need to be foreseen at the moment to avoid abuse of the refund mechanism. The small payments are too costly to invoice separately due to the cost structure of the financial institutions. For example, the fee paid to the payment provider would be higher than the money received by the actual service or content provider from the user. Such small payments would increase the transaction volumes enormously, giving severe technical challenges to the payment network. For example, suppose you have to pay a fraction of an eurocent per website you access. This would add billions of transactions to the existing payment network. Frequent customers are penalized when paying per service unit. This could be solved by a variety of payment schemes, but this could make pricing even more complex and intransparent for users. Huge amounts of payments appearing in customer account history, making it difficult for the user to find relevant information in his account history. A PFM solution, correctly categorizing and allowing easy filtering of certain micropayment, can give a solution here.